Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Matt, thanks for stopping by. Now I'm going to do something today that I told myself I wasn't going to do. I'm going to be tying out of favorite flies for Maine, a book that I haven't even told you about yet or done a review on it yet, but I was flipping through it earlier today and I just couldn't help myself. There's so many cool patterns in this. Now we've tied some of the patterns that are in this book on the channel before. You've got the Hornberg, the Mickey Finn, the Black-Nosed Dace, and the Maple Syrup. That was a pretty fun one to tie. But the one that caught my attention today, it's called the Wood Special. Now it was created by a guy named Joe Sterling, who was originally from Pennsylvania, born in the early 1900s, moved to Connecticut in the 40s, but settled in Maine in the 1970s. Now he ran a shop in Danforth, Maine called Joe's Tackle Shop, where he sold rods and reels and other fishing gear. And the first mention of this fly that he created was in a 1980 article in Fly Tire magazine. Now in the article he said he created the pattern while on a fishing trip in northern Maine, staying at what was then called McNally's Camp on Ross Stream. Now the pattern is probably best known as a pond brook trout fly, but it's proven effective in rivers and streams and even as a landlocked salmon fly. And the pattern is pretty straightforward to tie, but it is pretty flashy and I think really cool looking. And I think y'all are gonna like it. Let's give it a shot. So there it is in the vise, Joe Sterling's Wood Special. Now if you notice that wing right there, that is a teal flank feather dyed wood duck gold. I think that gold is a little bright. I'm gonna go with a tan on this one. Recipe says size is 6 to 10. So I'm going right in the middle with an 8, 3X long streamer hook. I'm going to pinch the barb on that. And let's get it in here. Black thread. I want to lay a base down to the start of the bend. Now the tail on this, golden pheasant tippets, one of my favorite tailing materials. A good, I don't know, 12, 15 fibers even. You can make it a big tail if you want. So I'm going to just grab the tips, reach in there, pull the main part of the feather out. Now my tip should stay aligned. And I'm going to catch it in, not real long, but maybe just a little bit longer than a hook gap. Let's catch that in, take it right back to where the thread wraps where we started. I think that's going to be just fine right there. And we do have a rib, and it is flat mylar tinsel, silver and gold. I'm going to catch it in with the silver side toward the hook because I want to wrap it with the silver side showing. And this is a size 14 in a Danville. I would say that is a small, you know, maybe a size 12 might be your medium, and a 16, 18 is a lot smaller. So after you get that caught in, let's catch in some chenille. Well, I need my thread a little bit back, but this is a medium and a bright orange. And I stripped a little bit off, so I've got a thread core right here. I'm just going to do a little pinch wrap, get that caught in. Oh, watch the point of my hook. I nicked my thread there. I'm about to make a big mess right here. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay, I think we are fine right there. Now let's get our thread up here, a little bit behind the eye, maybe 2 eye lengths back, because we've got a wing and a collar hackle up here. So I'm just going to wrap this chenille up, touch and turns, all the way up to where my thread's hanging. Okay, let's catch this off up here. Couple wraps and snip it, and then maybe a couple more just to really secure it. Now we got a couple of options with this rib. You can wrap it the same way we did the chenille, but then it's going to naturally go into those grooves and you might end up with your rib very close together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to counter wrap it, and this is totally up to you. That way I don't have to put them all that close together. Several of the pictures of this fly I saw, the rib, you know, the wraps were pretty far apart. And I think that is kind of by design, or else you're just going to have an awful lot of flash on this body. So by counter wrapping it, I was able to get 4 equally spaced wraps, and I think that is about what I want right there. So let's catch this in, catch it off up here at the front. Now a couple extra wraps because that last wrap looked like it was about to come undone on me. Now the original on the wing calls for wood duck. Now a lot of people don't have wood duck because it can be pretty expensive. So the most common substitute is either teal or mallard flank feathers, and you can get them dyed in a wood duck brown. So here's one. This is a teal flank feather, and I'm just going to strip it down, take all the long stuff off. Now I've got a feather like that. All right, I'm going to take a little bit more off of it. And what I'll do, I'll lick my fingers, hold the stem tight, and then just try to pull it back and spin it. So what I'm trying to do is really bunch these up, but keep that little bit of a curve there. So that is what I want to tie in. And it looks like it's, you know, pretty matted down. That's because I licked my fingers. Let's lay it on here and almost, you know, to the back of that tail if you can. So I think right there is going to be about what we want. Let's put a couple of wraps right here, not real tight, until we get it adjusted to where we want. And most of these I did see had that wing laying really pretty flat close to the hook shank, almost like that right there. I think that's about how many of them looked. Now I'm going to take a few extra wraps right here, just try to smooth out this head area so I've got a nice clean area to wrap this collar hackle. And this hackle is a grizzly hen. Now if you don't have a grizzly hen, I would probably substitute with something else in a hen. I think having the soft hackle is more important than having the right color, but it really does look pretty good with this grizzly with these bars showing. So I've got that caught in with a couple wraps right there. Let's put another couple pretty tight. Now we can snip off this front piece. Sometimes I'll fold it over and put a couple extra wraps just to really lock it in, but I think I've got enough wraps here that I don't need to do that this time. And grab your hackle pliers if you need to. I've got, I don't know, almost 3 inches of feather here, so I'm going to try to do it without my hackle pliers. Might be a mistake, but we'll see. And this is going to get a little bit unwieldy on you, so just try to keep them preened back as you wrap it. We're going to bring it about 3 wraps right here. And if some of your fibers end up going forward, that's okay. We'll take care of that with the head. I think that's my second wrap right there. And now we're coming up on my third full wrap. Yeah, I should have grabbed my hackle pliers. I don't have a whole lot of stem here to be working with. So let's just catch this off with a couple wraps. Now it looks a little unwieldy right there, but we're going to fix that right now. Just grab all these fibers, pull them pretty tight. Now we build our head. And I want them swept well back. So I'm not going to be afraid to go pretty far back with my head here and build it up. You know, it's a streamer. Build it up as big as you want, whatever you like for your streamer heads. So I think that hackle looks fine. Head could probably be a little bit bigger, but I'm going to live with that. I'm going to go ahead and put my wet finish on it and see if we need any cleanup. Well, I'm fine with what we have right here. That wing might be just a little bit closer to the body than some of the ones I've seen, but you know what? I like it. I'm putting a drop of head cement, and this is going in my streamer box. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.